Alright, let's settle in and talk about a place that secretly changed the course of history. A place of immense power and profound consequence. The Hanford Nuclear Reservation in Washington state. It's a story of ambition, secrecy, and a legacy we're still grappling with today. Picture this, it's 1943. The world is engulfed in World War II. In a remote, sparsely populated corner of the United States, a massive top-secret project is underway. This project, known as the Manhattan Project, had one singular, world-altering goal: to build the atomic bomb. Hanford was its beating heart, the place where the plutonium for that bomb would be created. Overnight, a vast industrial complex rose from the sagebrush plains along the Columbia River. More than 50,000 workers were brought in, many with no idea what they were actually building. They were told their work was vital to the war effort, and that was enough. They constructed the world's first full-scale plutonium production reactor, the B reactor, a marvel of engineering at the time. It was a race against the clock, a monumental effort shrouded in the utmost secrecy. In less than 2 years, Hanford produced the plutonium for the Fat Man bomb, the one dropped on Nagasaki, Japan, which effectively ended the war. The mission was a success. But the story doesn't end there. In fact, it was just beginning. After the war, the Cold War began, and the demand for plutonium soared. Hanford's operations expanded dramatically. 8 more nuclear reactors were built along the river, churning out material for America's growing nuclear arsenal for the next 4 decades. Hanford became the most productive plutonium factory on the planet, a cornerstone of American military might during a tense era of global standoff. But this immense production came at a staggering environmental cost. In the rush to win the war and then to stay ahead in the arms race, safety protocols and waste disposal methods were, to put it mildly, not what they are today. The processes used to create plutonium generated colossal amounts of radioactive and chemically hazardous waste. We're talking about an almost unimaginable scale of contamination. About 56 million gallons of high-level radioactive waste, a toxic slurry of chemicals, are currently stored in 177 aging underground tanks, many of which are well past their original design life. Some of these tanks have leaked, allowing contaminants to seep into the soil, inching ever closer to the precious groundwater and the Columbia River, the lifeblood of the Pacific Northwest. Beyond the tanks, there are hundreds of square miles of contaminated soil and groundwater. There are decommissioned reactors, solid waste burial grounds, and contaminated buildings. Hanford is, without exaggeration, the most contaminated nuclear site in the Western Hemisphere. It's a legacy born of necessity and speed, a problem deferred for future generations. And that future is now. So what are we doing about it? This brings us to the second chapter of Hanford's story, the cleanup. This is one of the largest, most complex, and most expensive environmental remediation projects the world has ever seen. It's a multi-decade, multi-billion-dollar effort that requires cutting-edge science and engineering. The primary mission is to deal with those 56 million gallons of tank waste. The plan is to pump the waste out of the old single-shell tanks and transfer it to newer, more robust double-shell tanks. Then, a massive and incredibly complex facility called the Waste Treatment and Immobilization Plant, or VIT plant, will take over. This plant is an engineering marvel in itself. It will use a process called vitrification. Essentially, it will mix the radioactive waste with glass-forming materials, heat it to over 2,000 degrees Fahrenheit, and pour the molten mixture into stainless steel canisters. Once it cools, the waste is trapped in a solid, stable glass form, like an insect in amber. This makes it safe for long-term storage and prevents it from ever reaching the environment. It's a slow, painstaking, and technologically demanding process, but it's the best solution we have. While the tank waste is the biggest challenge, it's not the only one. Crews are working across the 580 square mile site on other cleanup activities. They are cocooning the old reactors, which means demolishing the surrounding support buildings and encasing the radioactive reactor cores in a concrete and steel structure to let them safely decay for the next 75 years or so, at which point a final disposition can be made. They're also cleaning up contaminated groundwater. Giant pump and treat facilities act like massive water purifiers, extracting contaminated water from the ground, stripping out the radioactive and chemical pollutants, and then injecting the clean water back into the aquifer. It is a constant battle to contain the underground plumes of contamination and stop their spread toward the river. Furthermore, workers in protective gear are excavating and removing tons of contaminated soil and debris from old burial grounds, packaging it securely, and moving it to a specially engineered, lined landfill on the central part of the site, far from the river. The Hanford cleanup is a story of human ingenuity and responsibility. It's about taking ownership of a difficult past and using our best science and technology to build a safer future. It is a testament to the idea that even the most daunting problems can be tackled with persistence, innovation, and a commitment to doing the right thing for the environment and for generations to come. From its secret wartime origins to its current role as a global center for environmental cleanup, Hanford's story is a powerful reminder of the long-term consequences of our actions. It's a complex legacy of scientific achievement, national security, and environmental stewardship that continues to unfold today. Thanks for joining me on this deep dive into one of history's most fascinating and challenging industrial sites. If you found this interesting, please consider liking the video and subscribing to the channel for more stories like this. See you next time. Sweet dreams from business at bedtime.